O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Six Patriarch, Venerable Shenhua, Bhante, all Venerable advisors of Nitofo, chư Phật Bồ Sát, Điều Chủ Sư Phụ Sang Rệt, Bhante, Phật Huệ Sang Sư Sư Nitofo, chư Phật Bồ Tát, Thính Tư Đức Tổ, Hòa Thượng Kinh Hóa, Thầy và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Okay, today is the 3rd of February 2013. We are gathered in Rosemead to discuss the Vajra Sutra. We are on slide 450. We are continuing to discuss the patience paramita. The Buddha says this is the foremost patience paramita, meaning that from a common truth, from the perspective of the world, worldly people, it's called common truth. It's called the paramita of patience. Okay. Trong cái pháp, khi mà nói về cái pháp nhận ba la mật, là nói về cái phương diện của cái thế gian pháp. What is common truth? Common truth is what you perceive to be true in the to the world. Cái thế gian pháp hay là cái tục đế là cái sự thật mà tất cả chúng sanh quý vị thấy được, quý vị coi là sự thật. You see, we call it common truth because it's commonly recognized as true. Mình gọi là tục đế là tại vì cái người thế tục đó, ta công nhận cái đó. Okay. Sủ đi là因为người众生认识是真实的。所以这叫做熟地。Okay, so when we work, we call it common truth because you need to recognize, we need to work with what you perceive as to be true. Buddhism does not, I repeat, does not reject your misperception of the truth. We recognize you. We recognize your misperceptions of the truth as true as well. That's Mahayana. You see, you reject it because you say it's all false. Mahayana, you have to go beyond that. Go beyond rejecting the false. Does it make sense? That's Mahayana. That's a big difference. Cái pháp môn Đại Thừa đó, nó không có từ bỏ bất cứ cái gì hết. Mặc dầu cái người mà có trí huệ đã biết rằng quý vị sai lầm đó, nhưng người ta vẫn chấp nhận cái sự sai lầm của quý vị. Ta không có từ bỏ quý vị, không có gạt bỏ quý vị, nói là quý vị là mê muội, quý vị là không xứng đáng được, mà ta vẫn chấp nhận cái sự sai lầm của quý vị. Cái đó là cái tinh thần bao dung của cái pháp Đại Thừa. Ta sinh là phổ pháp,不会 reject what's reject in 排斥任何人，任何东西。虽是我们认识有智慧的人，认识是你做了，可是有智慧的人不会排斥你。Okay, renounce. What's renounce in Chinese? Từ bỏ. What's từ bỏ in Chinese? I keep on forgetting to read my dictionary. That's the story of my life. Okay, do you understand? Từ bỏ tiếng Hoa là gì? Bao chi. Oh, yeah. 不会放弃任何人。Okay, that's the spirit Mahayana. We don't reject, even though we know you're wrong. Okay, and we work with your perception of the truth in order to help you overcome your own perceptions. Because if we reject you, how can we have a conversation with you? If you dismiss you as totally confused, there's no more possible communication between us. You in your world, I'm in my world. You see, that's Mahayana. Isn't that interesting? Thành cái đại thừa mình hay lắm. Mặc dù biết quý vị sai, biết quý vị mê muội, nhưng mà vẫn sống vào cái thế giới mê muội quý vị, để sống cùng quý vị, để giúp quý vị tìm cảnh sáng. 所以这个是大乘佛教的特色，就是我们认识是你做的，你很迷了，可是我们需要到你的迷的地方，跟你工作，才可以帮助各位。Okay, that's the spirit. We don't reject. Does it make sense? That's why, that's the difference in the depth of the approach. Okay? Because there's some people, you can say, yes, you're wrong, and they say, oh, you are right. They believe you right away. There's some people who will not believe you. What are you going to do with those people? Think about it. Huh? Argue.
They want to argue with you.
Yeah, they want to argue with you. They want to show they're right and you're wrong.
Exactly.
Okay? And that's where you just go to their world to help them understand. You can't stay here in this side of the fence, thank you. And then say, oh, it's your problem. I'm not going to help you anymore. It's your problem because you're so confused. I give up on you. You don't do that. Okay? That's why there's something called common truth. That's why when you practice Buddhism, Mahayana, you put yourself in other shoes and say that's the common truth. That's the aspect of common truth is talking about. Trong cái Phật giáo mình đó, Phật giáo Đại thừa, khi mà giúp đỡ chúng sanh, là cái người mà có trí huệ phải vào cái cương vị của quý vị và nhìn với từ cái nhìn mê muội của quý vị. Rồi cái đó là cái đó gọi là cái tục đế. 所以属地就是从迷昧的人来看，好不好？
迷昧。
Even though 各位是你们是很迷昧的，可是我们认识是这个是你的实the truth 事实 ，OK， 真实的情况 ，OK， all right， so that's why when the Buddha teaches the Dharma, a practice, okay, he calls it paramita of patience. That is, it has a name of paramita of patience from your perspective, from the perspective of the people who are confused. That's why it's called paramita of patience. If you're confused, you need to practice something called the paramita of patience. Okay, that you have to accept it before you can get out. Does it make sense? So that paramita of patience is the truth to you. Thành ra khi mà quý vị còn mê muội thì Đức Phật tới dạy cái pháp gọi là pháp nhẫn ba la mật. Để quý vị hiểu pháp ba la mật đó, cái đó là cái pháp mà quý vị thấy là nó có thật. Quý vị tu cái pháp như vậy thì sẽ thoát ra cái vòng mê muội quý vị. Nó tuyệt vời như vậy. Nên là这个这地方很妙的，因为是我认识这个各位你们是很迷昧的，所以他需要教你一个迷昧的方法来解脱自己。这个方法叫做忍波罗蜜。
破疑昧。
破疑昧。Okay?
Yes.
So far so good? Okay? And however, from the perspective of the people who have the wisdom, even though we go and teach you about this paramita of patience, but actually inside of us, we don't see it as true at all. That's from the perspective of emptiness. There's nothing, such a thing. Everything is empty. There's such dharma called paramita of patience. I know that, but I still work with you and teach you about paramita of patience. So from the emptiness, from the common truth, and what is the other name? Middle way, common truth, and the actual truth. The actual truth. Okay, then from truly speaking, the wise people realize there's no such dharma called emptiness paramita, patience paramita, because it's empty anyway. It's nothing there. So they recognize it, okay? Even though they talk to you in your language, but they recognize inside of themselves, they're not fooled by that. It's only for you. Does it make sense? So the wise people have two different perspectives. Okay? Thành cái người mà có trí huệ, người ta hiểu rằng tất cả nó đều là không, không có gì phải chấp hết. Ta không chấp một cái pháp nào hết. Mặc dù như vậy, ta biết trong thâm tâm người ta không chấp gì hết, nhưng đến lúc người ta tới nói chuyện với quý vị, người ta vẫn bàn với quý vị về cái phương diện của quý vị mê muội quý vị thôi. Thiệt ra trong tâm người ta không có cái gì ở trong hết, không chấp vào cái chuyện bàn về mê muội quý vị. Okay, so what happened is these wise people, okay, even though they are with you, they're in the midst of confusion like you are, okay? But you cannot call them confused like you are, because inside themselves, unlike you, they realize there's nothing there at all. They're not fooled by that. They only talk like that way for your sake. They eat, they drink, they drive a car, okay? They buy lotteries, tickets, for your sake, not for their sake. Because they know lottery ticket is empty. The temple is empty. Money is empty. They're not attached to it at all. And yet, they go and haggle with you. Come on, John. $3,000 for what is it? What does it go for the girls, the young girls?
Oh, makeover?
No. Teeth.
Braces.
Braces. That's too much. Okay? They haggle with you. They haggle with you.
I know.
Okay? Give me a break. Give me a discount. That's what a lot of people would tell John. Okay? But even though in the midst of doing that, it's common truth, they're acting a common truth, they haggle with you, but inside themselves, they realize, oh, this is only an act. They don't get worked up about it, really.
They want blood, no act.
Yeah, no act, that's right. So even when they hurt you, when they kill you, they don't mean it. Thành ra, cái người có trí huệ đó, người ta như mình vậy. Người ta ăn, ta như mình, ta cuộc sống hàng ngày thường ta như mình vậy. Okay? Ta vẫn ăn, ta vẫn ngủ, ta vẫn cười, ta vẫn giỡn, ta vẫn trả giá, ta vẫn giận, ta vẫn hờn, nhưng đều trong tâm người ta hoàn toàn không có sự thật. Cái đó đối với người ta chỉ là một cái vở kịch thôi, để giúp quý vị vượt cái sự mê muội quý vị thôi. Cái đó là hành động người trí huệ. Tại vì sao? Trong tâm người ta, cái chân đế của người ta là ta biết không có gì phải cần chấp, tất cả đều là không. Thành cái người mê muội không thể nào hiểu được cái chuyện đó. So what happens is that the people who are confused will pass judgment on that and say, see, she's just as confused as I am. She loses her temper. She's greedy. You know, she haggles. She likes red Ferraris like the rest of us. See, she's just as confused. Cảm ơn Dịch. Now I think she does a better job than I do. Please go ahead. Okay? Any questions about this? That's called the actual truth, perspective. The person who does it is doing it for your sake because they are not attached to any of it. Because they see it's nothing there to be attached. Cái vị hiểu chưa? Tại vì cái người mà có trí huệ, người ta thấy được, ta không còn chấp trước nữa. Tại nhờ không còn chấp trước nữa, ta sẵn sàng đi vào cái chấp trước quý vị mà không còn sợ nữa. Hiểu chưa? Dịch dùm cái đó phần đó quan trọng. This is very important. This is why the people have real wisdom, true wisdom. They are not attached to anything at all. Okay? To the point where they are no longer afraid to engage with you. And immerse themselves in your confusion, defile themselves in your defilements. Why? Because the defilements can no longer confuse them. Whereas the Arhat does not dare do that. Because if the Arhat goes into the mud, he will get dirty. You buy that? Because the Arhat is not trained to handle the mud, to wash the mud. The Arhat is only trained to get out of the mud, not to wash the mud off themselves. Am I making sense to you, Bhante? The Theravada Dharma only teaches you to get out and distance yourself. Whereas Mahayana, we teach you to get out first, to recognize what is non-defilements like, purities like. Then, next step we say, go back. You cannot stay here. Because you need to learn how to deal with the mud when it's on your body in order to help others who are in the mud right now. Because they cannot get out like you do. That's Mahayana. Is it clear? That's a difference, big difference between Hinayana and Mahayana. Thành ra cái này là cái quan điểm khác biệt giữa cái tiểu thừa, okay, xiao sân,跟大圣的不同的地方. Nó khác biệt ở chỗ đó là tại vì cái tiểu thừa đó, cái nguyên thủy là dạy cái pháp để mà thoát ly cái ô uế, cái bẩn thỉu, okay, bỏ chạy, okay, you save yourself, you escape, you get out first. Mình bỏ chạy cái buồn, okay. 小乘的法就是要教你离这个执着的 ，OK， 不要执着，要离开这个不净的地方 ，OK。Nhưng đều á, cái đại thừa thì nói cái vị một khi mà thoát được rồi á, thì phải trở lại đó để mà tập rửa cái buồn ra khỏi cái tay mình, không còn sợ cái buồn nữa. Tại khi mà quý vị chạy cái buồn đó, quý vị vẫn còn chấp vào cái dơ dái của cái buồn. Hiểu chưa? Dịch dùm cái đó này. You understand? If you succeed in leaving the mud, defilements, and you stay away from the defilements, there's still an attachment there, isn't there? You're attaching to not getting stained. Aren't you? That's an attachment. You have to undo that too. By going back to the stain and wash it off. Learn to wash it off. Isn't that beautiful? That's Mahayana. Cái đại thừa mình nó hay lắm. Okay? Mình không có sợ vậy. Mahayana, we fearless. We're not afraid of anything, including defilements. Dịch được không?
Nó hiểu rồi.
Hiểu không? Okay. Ta sân Phật giáo的我们什么都不怕的，连不敬也不怕的。Okay? Any questions about this? Yes. Hả? Actual truth là chân đế, sự đi. Okay. Alright. Cái chân đế mình không chấp gì hết. Okay. Actual truth is that when you understand the actual truth, there's nothing there. There's nothing to be attached to. That's why once a person understands it, then he's not afraid of anything anymore. Okay? And that is exactly the middle way. The middle way is a combination of the actual truth and the common truth. See, it's all the Mexican thing that's waiting on my head. Just in case you don't know, people who are not here at the temple, today we have a wonderful, wonderful Mexican-style feast. I ate my fill. We started at 11 sharp, and we gulped down the whole lunch, and everyone's full right now, including me, and I'm a little bit sleepy. Feel like taking a nap.
Super Bowl commercials.
Is it clear? This is so when you have these two extremes, nó có hai cái thái cực. One is that the common truth where everything is so defined, so real to all of you. Okay? That's what you are. Where we all are. And then the actual truth where the wise men like the arhats and the pratyeka Buddhas and so on, they realize everything's empty on this side. They're free from it all. They're not fooled by appearances anymore. And there's something in between called the middle way, where actually both, it's not the middle way, by the way. It's not in the middle.
It's both ways.
It's both. That's why it's called middle way. They recognize both to be true. That's why it's the middle. Thấy không? Thành ra cái Phật pháp nó có một cái gọi là cái chân đế, nó biết là không có chấp vậy nhé, tất cả nó đều xả được hết. Tất cả gọi là không, tất cả không. Khi nó không rồi cái gì mình xả cũng được. OK. 如果什么都是空的，那你不会有执着，这个是真谛。另外还有những个俗谛，什么都是真的。Ngược lại nó có cái tục đế là mình, đối với mình là cái người phàm phu mình, cái gì nó cũng chân thật hết. Cái nhà nó quan trọng, cái tiền nó quan trọng, cái xe nó quan trọng, cái việc làm nó quan trọng, cái đồ ăn nó quan trọng. OK? Cái gọi là tục đế, cái gì đối với mình nó quan trọng hết. Thành cái đó là cái thực tế của mình, cuộc đời mình nó có như vậy. Thành cái trung đạo là cái nó ở giữa. Cái giữa thực ra nó cùng nhận hai cái đều có cùng một lúc, chứ không phải nó ở giữa. Hoài là trung đạo, nó trung dung, trung đạo không phải ở giữa mà nó bao gồm mấy hai cái thái cực nữa. So the middle way is really a bad translation. The middle way is actually embracing both extremes. It encompasses both extremes of attaching to everything and attaching to nothing at the same time. That's called the middle way. The whole spectrum. Okay, so actually, middle is a translation from the Chinese. I would call it more like all embracing instead of middle.
Would you please explain a little bit what is the difference Arahat and Bodhisattva?
Okay. Cái câu hỏi là thầy muốn hỏi là cái sự khác biệt giữa người A-la-hán và người Bồ Tát là sao? Okay. After you become an Arhat, sau khi quý thành A-la-hán rồi, then we teach you, okay, there's a very long road ahead of the Arhats. Sau khi quý vị thành A-la-hán rồi, okay, A-la-hán là Arhat, okay. Thì có một quãng đường rất là dài. Okay, that you must go through. Very specialized training that you must go through before you become a bodhisattva. Very difficult difficult path. Cái con đường mà cái người từ A-la-hán mà phải đi cho tới cái trình độ Bồ Tát đó, nó rất là khó. It's much harder than an Arhat path. Nó còn khó hơn con đường người A-la-hán. Okay, it's a long, long time. Okay, and that's when you better off having a teacher and knows how to guide you through all those things, because those are poorly documented. Unlike the arhat pathways, the pathways for between an arhat to a bodhisattva path are not well documented at all. That's one more reason why you need to have a good no advisor to guide you all through that pathways. Thì con đường giữa cái người A-la-hán với người Bồ-Tát đó, nó rất là khó, nhưng đều ít sách vở nó bàn về cái chuyện đó, tại ít người tới cái trình độ đó. Thành ra bởi vậy một cái lý do hơn để quý vị hiểu là khi mà tới quá trình độ A-la-hán rồi thì cần kiếm ông thầy tầm sư như vậy đó. Sau nó khó đi lắm, mà cũng có sách vở, rất ít sách vở. Okay? Any questions? Okay. During the pathways, you receive special instructions when to go back to the mud, to the defilements, and work with it, and when to pull out. This is the time we need to pull out. Okay. Thành trong cái thời gian con đường đó là quý vị phải được dạy là trở về lại cái buồn, trở vào cái thế tục, cái thế gian pháp, xong một thời gian xong phải rút lui lại. Nó có cái cách tu nó khác để mà thoát cái mới mở được cái trí huệ chân chính. Because you need to go through the process, specialized training process, to help you embrace both extremes. That training is designed to help you embrace both extremes. Okay, the emptiness the arhat realizes is only this much. It's not the extreme emptiness yet. It's not a true emptiness yet. It's only called emptiness. Okay, but it's not true emptiness yet. That's why you need to expand the emptiness. So you go back to the defilements, okay, and work, and then eventually you get back, get out of defilement, you go towards true emptiness. Okay, and that's when you begin to embrace them all. So it's very, very specialized training that's not in the books at all. Okay. Có cái pháp đặc biệt là quý vị phải lúc mà cái người A-la-hán mới đắc được cái không thôi, thì nhờ cái phương pháp tu luyện đặc biệt này, họ vào cái buồn lầy lại, họ lồi cái buồn lầy lại, rồi xong rồi họ tu một thời gian để họ phải thoát ra lại, họ chạy ra khỏi cái buồn lầy đó để họ đi vào cái gọi là chân không, tới gần cái chân không hơn. Thành ra nó có cái chương trình dạy đặc biệt, hướng dẫn đặc biệt mà trong sách vở nó rất ít người biết chỗ nào có. Okay? Any other questions? Yes.
What's the difference between emptiness and true emptiness?
Emptiness is only the beginning of understanding. True emptiness is total understanding. You begin to understand. The other one is complete understanding. Okay? It's like there's no comparison whatsoever. No comparison. Câu hỏi là không với chân không nó khác nhau chừng nào? Thì thầy giảng nghĩa là không là bắt đầu của sự hiểu, còn chân không là hoàn toàn hiểu biết, hoàn toàn cái thật sự. So what happens in Mahayana, emptiness is not the truth. True emptiness is. The arhat does not know the truth yet. The arhat, you ask the bodhisattva looks at arhat, you are so confused. That's how the bodhisattva looks at arhat. And arhats knows that. The arhats are realize that they don't know as much as the bodhisattva. That's the truth. Okay? They actually, you ask me, the arhats are leery of the bodhisattvas. Why? Because they're afraid that their inadequacies will become more pronounced when they meet with the bodhisattvas. it's scary because they don't know any way to get out of it. That's why it's scary. It's just like you meet with someone and says you are inadequate, and yet you don't know how to improve yourself. There's no way. It's not in their knowledge base. So there's a reluctance to get there. Tinh Ngô Tùng. Okay. Any other questions? I'll give you an example of the difference in the wisdom. I just saw on Facebook another famous monk who says, what is it? To renounce is to be, to have equanimity, to not be stuck and not discriminate. What do you think? Thầy mới coi trong Facebook có cái thầy cái nổi tiếng lắm, ông nói là cái xả tức là bình đẳng, là không bị kẹp và không kỳ thị. 我看在网络上有一位很名誉有名誉的圣人，他说舍就是你有平等心，不要有什么执着，也不要分别。
是没有平等要有平等心，不要有执着。
对，
那个是喜舍，是吗，老师？
对对，那个喜舍的舍。
对。
What do you think? Yes.
I guess it sounds along the lines of an arhat dharma is to sort of remove from get angry or
Yeah, it's a lot of dogs barking, so I wasn't sure what he's talking about. So what do you think? The rest of you? 各位nghĩ sao? 中华的人，各位的想法是怎么样？
老师再说一遍，听不清楚。
舍是什么？舍就是平等，有平等心，不要执着，不要分别，是舍吗？
意思就是说，不要说我们是亲戚，我们是朋友，或者是我们喜欢的，我们才舍。要一律平等，不要有分别，那个就是不执着。我的意思
是不是舍的？那就是舍吗？
就是舍，
就是舍。但所以你同意了？
我同意。
Okay, 好。One Chinese lady says she agrees. The rest of you Chinese people, yes.
He doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand?
He says he renounces it. If he understood equanimity, there's nothing to renounce.
Nothing to renounce as equanimity?
What's there to renounce? You embrace everything.
He says, another Chinese gentleman, he says, there's nothing to renounce, that's equanimity. 一位中华人，另外一个男中华人，他说，平等心就是没有什么要舍，那才是平等心。Cái người Trung Hoa này, người đàn ông Trung Hoa này nói có cái ý kiến phát biểu ý kiến nói rằng Bình đẳng tâm tức là không có gì phải xả hết, tại tất cả nó đều là bình đẳng, có gì đâu phải xả. Agree or disagree? Yes.
Could you start over, please? What did you actually say again?
To renounce is to have an impartial mind, to not be stuck on anything, and not to discriminate. That's to renounce.
Renouncing this?
Yes.
No.
What is it?
Well, he's already judging something to renounce it. If you're renouncing it, you're judging it already.
Okay, anyone else? Có ai có ý kiến gì không? Kim Điện có ý kiến gì không? Xả. Người ta đang giảng cái xả là cái gì? Someone is trying to explain to us what renunciation is. In Buddhism, what's renunciation? There's this famous monk here says, renunciation is to be impartial, have an impartial mind. Everything is equal. It's about not discriminate, not have any attachment, not get stuck on anything. You agree with that or not? Yes?
What are you renouncing?
Just to let go. Renunciation is a Buddhist dharma. Cái xả là một cái pháp của Phật pháp. Mình phải xả, tập xả. Thì ông thầy mới nói xả có nghĩa là mình bình đẳng. Okay. Mình không có chấp trước, mình không có phân biệt, mới gọi là xả. Anyone gets it? Trang nghĩ sao? Trang is sleeping. Trang is nodding his head. Just don't leave me alone, master. Let me give me peace. Let me sleep in peace. Yeah. Yes? Không đồng ý. Vậy là cái gì? Tại sao không đồng ý? 你改你的主意，对不对？
老师，那从另外一个方向来讲，那个舍的时候有很多个层次，很多个层次。意思就是说，我们觉得该舍的就舍，有时候一些我们还是要觉得不能够舍，所以这个还算是执着。它有高有低嘛，有深有浅。
What do the Koreans think? She's sleepy too. Okay. I won't ask you questions anymore. I'm going to speed up the process and give you the answer myself. Okay? Because this is agonizing. I can't take it anymore myself. Because everyone's suffering so much. Oh, Master, can you find a better day to bother us? Not today. If I don't ask you today, next week's going to be Sri Lankan food. What are we going to do now? You see, Bhante says, yeah.
Same thing.
You see?
Exactly. All we want is the same food.
Yeah. And that's what we have to reconsider. I just talk about temptation. Next week is Chinese food. You can do it again. But Sri Lankan food ain't going to come for a long, long time.
Oh, next week is Sri Lankan day?
Sri Lankan food.
Can you do on Saturday? I can come on Sunday.
No, you have to save some for
Chinese food,
Saturday,
you get it anywhere
please.
in the restaurant. Sri Lankan food, you can't. Anyway, that's competition for you.
Well, that's not equanimous.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I'm going to end your suffering right now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Master.
Oh, so sleepy.
Control yourself. Okay.
Everybody's so not focused today.
Ai cũng lờ đờ hết. Thầy bỏ cuộc, thầy không hỏi cái gì nữa đâu.
Message yummy.
My reply is this. One sentence. Thầy trả lời. Một câu thôi.
Definitely superior Dharma. I don't understand the words you said.
My sense is you still need to renounce equanimity. Thầy trả lời, quý vị phải cần xả cái bình đẳng.
What's limited?
这个是你刚刚说的，你还需要舍这个平等性才对。
我所讲的那个就没有平等性，为什么？因为它有层次的关系嘛，那么时间的问题嘛，所以这个时候还不算是平等。
舍不是平等，
对，也还是有执着。对。
See? Why? You understand that? And she said the Chinese got it, the Korean didn't get it. The Chinese got it because the Chinese level is higher than master's level. That's why she got it right away. You struggle because you're not higher.
Next, you're going to say you're going to renounce Mexican and Sri Lankan.
Renounce is like announce.
Yes.
No.
Yes, there's a question here. Yeah.
What's limited?
Huh?
Limited is what is
What?
Equanimity.
Huh?
Equanimity, meaning everything is equal. You look everything equally. Men, women, child, old people, ugly, pretty, all equal. Equanimity. Everyone the same. Impartial. You not favor anyone. Not kimchi, not Vietnamese, not Sri Lankan, not Chinese.
And what does that mean by renounce?
Not Italian.
What is renouncing? Is announcing again, or what?
Mean you let go. You drop.
Let go.
Even like the
Even let go, limiting.
You have to let go of equanimity as well to
even
call
when
it
everything
to
is
let
equal,
go.
you let go.
Yeah.
You let go of the sameness.
Yeah.
So
you have to let
accept
go
the
of the sameness too.
difference too.
That's why it's called letting go. He shot himself in the foot, that monk. He said letting go, but he defines letting go as being equal. Being equal is not letting go.
That's sameness.
You attach to sameness. See that? You let go, why do you have to be equal? Even equal has to be let go as well. Is it clear? He doesn't understand yet. Doesn't understand how to let go yet. That's why he's talking a lot of words. If you understand letting go, there's nothing left to let go, including equanimity. Including, I only started with that one, all three has to be let go. Let go of equanimity, you have to let go of letting go of attachment, you also have to letting go of discrimination as well. Of letting go of discrimination as well. There's nothing left. That's why it's called letting go. I only answered one, that's enough.
You got a funny definition of equanimity. I never heard that. You have a very original definition, which I've never heard anybody use the word equanimity to mean when you said it.
No, renunciation and not equanimity. See, the beans are getting to you. Your head is not clear today. It's clear to me. I'm struggling too, but not as badly as you do. Could you repeat that, please? Can you tell it's a sign of trouble? Could you repeat that, please? And then I repeat it. And you still have this blank stare after I repeated the sentence. And you know that it's not clicking right now.
It's not clicking, but also
It's not clicking.
It does not mean that everything is equal. It means that you're in a state which things aren't bothering you. That's what it means.
Look up under pronunciation. It's a Buddhist dharma called renunciation. He's discussing renunciation.
But you just missed the point when I'm trying to straighten it out.
I'm explaining renunciation. I'm not explaining equanimity. See, you're missing a lot of my words. The rest of them don't. Only you miss them. Could you repeat that, please? No, I'm not going to repeat that. Not until you wake up.
I don't want to hear you.
Okay. Okay, any other question? Ai thắc mắc gì không? Ru Trình听得懂吗？还是舍的时候，还是需要舍那个平等心，才是舍。Okay. Anything else? 451. 451. He says that at the time, my 4 marks of itself, of others, of living beings, and of a lifespan have been emptied.
Everything's empty.
That's what he's talking about. Is those are the parameters of emptiness of an arhat. Okay. And cái đó thì ngài Đức Phật mới nói lúc trước mà cái lúc mà tôi tu cái pháp nhận ba la mật đó thì tôi đã là không còn cái ngã tướng, không còn thọ tướng, không còn tha tướng, không còn chúng sanh tướng. Thì cái đó là cái trạng thái của một cái người trình độ người A La Hán. Okay? Any questions about it? 没有人相，没有他相，没有众生相，没有受相。这个是罗汉的二罗汉的程度。这个四相都是共的。Okay? So when you mark, the 4 marks are empty, the Nirvana Sutra says, on the causal ground, the Buddha's body was dismembered by King Kalinga. Thì trong cái kinh Niết Bàn đó thì nói kể ra trong cái lúc mà nhân địa đó, tức là lúc mà Phật đang còn tu đó, Bồ Tát đạo đó, thì mà Đức Phật đó, Phật Thích Ca đó, đã bị cái vua Ca Lợi chặt cái tứ chi. And this is a well known anecdote. That is, when the Buddha was practicing the Bodhisattva path. Okay, this is Bodhisattva path. He's been practicing, and he practiced. He was trying to perfect the patience paramita. Đây là cái chuyện đề trước trong kinh Niết Bàn rất nổi tiếng về cái ai cũng biết cái chuyện, đa số ai cũng biết cái chuyện này. Ngài Đức Phật đang tu Bồ Tát đạo và đang tu cái pháp nhận ba la mật. Thì ngài sinh vào cái quốc vương của vua Ca Lợi. Thì vua Ca Lợi này thì gặp Đức Phật rồi thử thách Đức Phật bằng cách là tra tấn Đức Phật, chặt xẻo tai, xẻo mũi, xẻo môi, xẻo mắt, xong rồi chặt tay chặt chân. Mà trong lúc bị hành hạ như vậy, Đức Phật hoàn toàn không có giận. Cái是恶力王的跟佛理解呢这个故事，恶力王在试试佛的知识智力所以他铲佛的腿，佛的表，对不对？可是佛不会生气，是因为他的四相都是空的。Okay, so this is I'm sure you most of you have heard it, have read about this, and this is a case of our Buddha receiving unfair and harsh and cruel treatment, and yet, unlike most ordinary people who would get offended, would get angry at that, the Buddha didn't even get angry at all. Okay, that's his level of attainment. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, 452, tấm 452. And why, when I was cut limb from limb, if I had a mark of a self, a mark of others, a mark of living beings, a mark of life, I would have been outraged. 何以故？我于往昔节节之解释，若有我相、人相、众生相、寿者相，应生憎恨. Tại vì sao từ trước khi bị cắt xẻo từng đoạn mà ta còn ngã tướng, nhân tướng, chúng sanh tướng, thọ giả tướng, ắt phải sanh sân hận. So patience is the absence of no anger, the absence of anger. Thành cái nhẫn ba la mật, nhẫn á, tức là không có cái giận. 所以忍性就是不会生气，不会生憎恨。Because if you harbor a view of yourself, then there's someone left there to become angry at. Whereas if there's no self, there's no one to get angry. Tại vì nếu như quý vị còn có cái ngã tướng thì quý vị sẽ nổi giận. Tại vì khi mà không còn ngã tướng thì không còn ai mà nổi giận nữa. Okay, there's a person getting angry. 还是有一个人在生气，所以那个人的我相还是存在。Okay, and because in actual anecdote, because when after the Buddha was cut, all the 4 limbs cut off from him, and he completely has no anger, no resentment towards the king at all. All his 4 limbs grew back. Tại vì trong câu chuyện đó là vì Đức Phật không còn cái ngã tướng nữa, không còn cái nhân tướng, không còn cái tứ tướng, nó đều không hết. Thành ra khi bị chặt, bị hành hạ như vậy mà không nổi giận thì cái cảm ứng nó lộ ra ngay lập tức là 4 cái tay chân nó đều mọc ra lại. Yes, questions?
What are limbs?
Arms and legs.
The limbs?
These are your limbs.
Okay.
So what happened for you foreigners who are new to Mahayana? The king didn't like that guy, the Buddha, who is a lay person. So he taken his sword and chop off his arm. He said, "Does it hurt?" He said, "No." "Are you angry?" He said, "No." So the king says, "I don't believe you." So he take his sword. "Does it hurt?" Say, "No." "Are you angry?" "No." So the king, "I really don't believe you. You got to be pulling my leg." So he went to his legs, where he's sitting full lotus, and he said, "Does it hurt?" "No." "Are you angry?" "No." So the king, "I don't believe you. You are some kind of freak." So he take his knife, his sword. "Does it hurt?" "No." "Are you angry at me?" "I'm laughing at you right now." The Buddha says, "No, I'm not angry at you."
For real?
For real.
The Sakyamuni Buddha, that happened?
That's what exactly happened.
When did
Before
that
he became a
happen?
Buddha.
I thought he was sitting under the Bodha tree and became Buddha, right?
This is before that, long before that.
Oh, and then he got the brand new legs and arms.
In a
later?
prior life.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
I'm sorry, I didn't tell that entire story. In a prior life, way before he became a Buddha. This is a long time, way before he became a Buddha. Way, long time ago. He's talking about, trillions upon trillions upon trillions of years ago when he was practicing. And he would receive that kind of cruel, atrocious treatment. And he wasn't angry at all. And now our Father says something unkind to us, what do you mean? No patience. Như thấy không? Ngày xưa là Phật như vậy, là hành hạ ngược đại như vậy mà không có nổi giận. Lần này ngày nay thì người ta nói một cái tai, cái chọn tai một tay, cái đầu nổi giận sùng, đòi đánh lộn, đòi chửi, đòi bới. Phải anh Kim Điền? You are unfair to me. I don't have to be nice to you. Wow, you see? That's Kim Điền position.
I'm too sleepy.
Any questions? Okay, actually, because he passed the test, because you see, it hurt. Does it hurt? It hurts like hell, I assure you. Okay? 他的有痛吗？他很痛啊，因为是你的被砍你的四肢，对不对？
只有佛能够做到，其他的我看没有谁可以做到的。他说他不生气啊，真的不生气啊。如果我生气的时候，我的手脚都不会生出来。那我不生气的时候，等一下手脚都生出来了。
对啊，So the Chinese understand. The Chinese explain. Not easily done, because when you cut he's a man. You cut your flesh, it hurts, and the blood is coming out, and it cuts again, it hurts. Okay. At the same time, the king is laughing. Okay. So he has to be truly not angry at all for the limbs to grow back by themselves, because first of all, it hurts. Okay, it hurts like hell. Phải nhớ là cái tay nó đau dễ sợ, máu nó chảy ra. Okay,很痛啊. Number two point you have to remember: does he want his limbs to grow back? Có vì cái chuyện thứ nhì, cái vị nhớ lại là lúc mà bị chặt tay chân như vậy đó, cái vị nghĩ đó, cái người Phật, cái tiền thân đó, Phật có đòi cái tay chân nó mọc ra lại không? I ask you now, all you Korean as well. When the Buddha was being cut his four limbs right there, and it's very hurting right now, do you think the Buddha says grow back or the pain go away? You think? No, not at all. 这个思想要他的四肢要再生出来，也是没有的，才生出来的。That's because he had not even a thought, even wanting his limbs to grow back. That's why they grew back by themselves.
Yeah, that means no emotions.
Because I know that if John happens, John says, I can handle it. One less arm to worry about. Two arms I don't have to worry about. No leg, no problem. I sit here. Another leg, okay, so I sit here until I die. Okay, I will not get angry. Okay, but then deep down in the back of John's mind says, but I heard about the Buddha's story. I hope that if I do it right, my limbs will grow back, and will never grow back because of that thought. You see?
When did they grow back?
They grew back.
When did they grow back?
And grew back because of the Buddha's blessing.
When?
Right there immediately. It grew back.
Right away?
Yeah. When you reach a state, then you understand it's not impossible. Kim Điền is not even taking notes anymore because she doesn't believe it grew back.
She's like what?
She edits liberally.
You speak in English.
Kim Điền said, yeah. Too bad they don't have on film Texas. So there's another skeptic. It's another skeptic. Okay. Any questions? If you don't believe, you really don't believe, your limbs will not grow back. Don't even bother trying Kim Điền. Thầy cuối cùng thầy trả lời cho quý vị biết. Ok, cái người này đã rõ ràng, cái người này đã không giận, mà còn cũng không có cái tư tưởng là muốn cái tay chân mình nó mọc ra lại nữa. Còn cái người như cô Kim Điền đang biên bài, đang biên là cô nó là tu hương tiên, thì đừng có hy vọng, đừng nói chuyện mà nhẫn nữa, đừng nói chuyện mà không đau nữa.
Master, I can barely sit 1 hour, so I'm not gonna try.
Yeah, don't try. It's not for. Don't try this at home. Okay, please don't try it on your sister.
You should put a sign. Don't try.
Or on
This is only
yourself.
for Buddha.
Khuyên quý vị là ở nhà đừng có chặt tay chị, mà đừng có biểu chị chặt tay mình.
Put that on Facebook and see what they do with it.
I would, if you ask me, I would try a pinky first.
Let me take a photograph, put on Facebook.
Oh no.
See, you can
see
handle
what people
pinky.
say.
And then 2 pinkies.
No, neither one.
Nên thầy nói là quý vị đừng có ở nhà, đừng có bất chước làm như vậy. Đừng nghĩ có cái phong trào như vậy. Thấy hay bất chước làm ở nhà. Thầy nói muốn làm ở nhà là đừng có trách thầy là xúi bậy. Thầy chỉ xúi quý vị chặt cái ngón tay út thôi. Thử thì có đau không? Try one pinky, see if it hurts. If it hurts like hell, stop. You guys are cruel. My gosh. I cannot believe how cruel you are. Can you believe them, these Americans? Yes.
So does that mean if I try it on my neighbor, I go, I don't feel a thing, it's going to grow back?
It's going to grow back, absolutely.
No, I don't feel a thing. But if I chop it off my neighbor's hand.
No, you tell your neighbor. And my master says, if you really don't feel things going to grow back, you just watch.
And then when he sews them, he'll be sick and different about that one.
Well, he goes to Mexico frequently.
That's the reason.
Okay, any questions? Ai thắc mắc gì không? Okay. 456. Tấm 456. Subhuti. Further, I recall that in the past for 500 lives, I was a patient immortal. During all those lives, I have no mark of self, no mark of others, no mark of living beings, and no mark of a life. For that reason, Subhuti, a bodhisattva should relinquish all marks. Produce a mind anuttara samyak sambodhi. He should produce that mind without dwelling in forms. He should produce that mind without dwelling in sounds, smells, tastes, tangible objects, or dharmas. Sư菩提又念过去于500世做忍辱现人于米所事于耳于耳所事无我相无人相无众生相无寿者相是故须菩提菩萨应离一切相发阿耨多罗三藐三菩提心不应处摄生心不应处生相位诸法生心. Tu Bồ Đề là nhớ quá khứ ta làm người tiên nhẫn nhục 500 đời, và thổ đó không có ngã tướng, không có nhân tướng, không có chúng sanh tướng, không có thọ giả tướng. Vì thế tu Bồ Đề, Bồ Tát nên lìa hết thảy các tướng, phát tâm A Nậu Đa La Tam Nhiều Tam Bồ Đề, chẳng nên trụ sắc mà sanh tâm, chẳng nên trụ thanh hương vị xúc pháp mà sanh tâm. The point here is the Buddha practiced this being a patient immortal for 500 lives. Ở đây cái điểm đầu tiên quý vị phải nhớ là Đức Phật tu cái pháp nhẫn dục ba la mật này là tu 500 kiếp rồi. OK， 他是修这个忍辱的法门，经过500世，不是一世就说就公布，是我成功了忍辱法门了，不是的，还是需要经过很多世才可以说是成功。
那老师500世可以解释为500劫吗？
不是，
不是，一劫有好多世啊。
也是有的时候一世有很多劫。
一世有很多劫
啊，
不是一劫有很多世
啊，不是。
Okay.
有的时候一世有很多劫。
一世有很多劫。
So he practiced being a patient immortal for 500 lifetimes. So it's not like his 4 limbs grew back and he runs around jumping up and down like John and says, "Oh my God, look everyone, I succeeded, my patient paramita, my limbs grew back. Let's move on, next dharma." No. Even if after the limbs grew back, he continued to practice the patient's paramita for 500 more lifetimes. So the Chinese asked a question. He said, "Is it 1 kalpa? Or what?" And I said, "No, not quite 1 kalpa. Sometimes 1 lifetime has many kalpas." That's how long he practiced. You think it's easy to accomplish patience paramita, John? It isn't. You have to keep on doing it. Because it turns out that you need the patience paramita has many aspects, and it's not something intellectual. It's something you practice, and when the test comes from one person, and next test comes from another person, next test comes from a mosquito, okay, and so on and so on. So you practice it to the point where you pass all these various tests throughout this lifetime. Okay. Cái nhận Ba La Mật là quý vị tu cần nhiều kiếp lắm, là không phải là một vua ca lời vương tới thử để quý vị thành công là xong đâu, rồi còn có người khác tới thử nữa. Có thể là kiếp sau có thể là vợ mình tới xử. Next lifetime could be your wife. It's not going to be a stranger. Next lifetime could be your daughter. Kiếp sau có thể là vợ mình, kiếp sau có thể là con mình, con cái mình, con gái của mình đó, nó thử với mình có đủ nhẫn hay là không. So your own daughter tests your patience limits your patience. Can she behave in any way and yet you don't get upset at her? Con gái mình nó bất cứ nó có những cái hành động để cho làm cho mình nổi giận lên. Nì的女儿是下世是这世是各力王，下的世就是你的女儿在考试你，做东西让你生气。OK. Đó cái nhận là rất nhiều người. Okay. So that's why during these lifetimes he served the Buddhas above and helped living beings below. Trong những cái kiếp này đó, khi mình tu pháp nhận Ba La Mật này thì cái Đức Phật đã phục vụ cho những cái Đức Phật, những vị Phật ở trên, ở dưới thì giúp những chúng sanh. So what does it mean, serve Buddhas above and help living beings below? Mình phục vụ cho Phật ở trên và giúp đỡ chúng sanh ở dưới. 这个意思是什么？那是奉事佛的佛善，下面是叫帮助众生，是什么意思？ Yes.
He's a bodhisattva.
He's a bodhisattva. Yes. This is the track of bodhisattva. Đây là con đường của Bồ Tát đạo. This is what bodhisattvas do. Okay? They are obeying. They are treading the teacher's path. That's the Buddhas. Tất cả Bồ Tát đó, nó đang đi trên con đường bất chước, con đường của Phật đi. Phú sa sư在这个踏佛的途径，这个菩萨的行为。Okay, the bodhisattvas, okay, are the one. Earlier the question, what's the difference? The bodhisattvas are the one. If you ask them, who is the teacher? The Buddha is the teacher. So they are executing what the Buddhas, their teachers, practiced in the past. Okay? Thành ra cái người Bồ Tát là cái người mà quay đi theo con đường của Phật, của thầy mình đã nói ra. Okay? Any questions about that? And 500 means, when you see the Buddhist sutras, 500 means a lot. It's not uncountable. You don't want to keep track. 500 có nghĩa là số rất là lớn. Ngũ bài, 这个数目是tượng trưng, 表示，这个是很多。And each lifetime, he most likely endure very difficult tests like King Kalinga, and yet each time, and he has to keep on enduring those tests until he passes. Here's the truth. Sự thật là như vậy, thưa quý vị. Okay. The first time he failed. Quý vị biết không? Sự thật là như vậy này. Cái lần đầu tiên là bị thất bại. You agree with that?
Sure.
The first time you failed miserably. Okay? The first time, as soon as the king was about, his sword cut his flesh, he said, "Stop!" Okay? And fight. Yeah, that's the first time. Lần đầu tiên mà ông vua mà cầm cái dao mà cứa cái da cái tay mình, ông Phật nói không được, ông làm này lầm rồi, phải bắt đầu đấu. 第一次歌利王的考试，就佛马上就说顶着你不可以伤害我，那不对的。Okay, that's failure. 那就失败了，tức là thất bại. Okay. So what happened is, so gradually, that's when you learn, you bear one arm and then two arms, one leg and two legs and so on. That's how it's a progression. Okay? Just like weight loss. You have to lose 1 pound at a time. Right? Nó khó lắm. Không phải là quý vị don't think it's very easy. That's why it takes many lifetimes. Thành ra nó cần rất nhiều cái kiếp mới thành công nữa. Okay? Is it clear? It takes a lot of practice. If you think that it's so easy, then you are a fool. It's not that easy. It is very difficult. And it's the fact that he needs 500 lifetimes. Why 500 lifetimes? The truth of the matter is that because he failed. That's why he needs to have 500 lifetimes. True? Agree or disagree? Cái vị nghĩ chứ coi, mình hỏi ngược lại, tại sao Đức Phật phải cần 500 kiếp mới thành được? Tại vì trong 500 kiếp đó thầy Đức Phật đã thất bại quá trời đi. Mới cần 5 năm kiếp. 你看，他需要经过500世才成功，是因为这些500世每次他都失败了，对不对？ 所以他需要经过500次才可以成功啊。The truth of the matter, he has to go 500 times because he failed. Don't think you can succeed in one lifetime, folks. Buddhism is not that cheap. If we say to you, oh, don't worry, practice chant one lifetime, Kim Điền, you become a Buddha, you say, I don't believe you. Okay? Buddhism is that cheap. How much do I have to pay you now?
Cheap.
That's true.
Right? You have to go through a lot of Mexican feasts, Sri Lankan feasts, and Chinese, and Vietnamese. And then and over and over and over, and English and Italian and Swiss and healthy green stuff. Okay, and you fail, right? What did I just do? I rejected green, so green will keep on coming. You get it? You see? As long you fail, you have to keep at it. That's why it's keep on coming to test you. They won't bother you unless you can't handle it. You agree with me? Quý vị đồng ý không? Là họ chỉ tới thử thách mình tại vì họ biết mình chịu đựng rồi họ mới thử thách. Còn họ biết mình đã có sức chịu đựng rồi họ đâu thèm thử thách nữa. Right? 你看他们来考试你是因为他们知道你会做不到的才可以来考试你，对不对？考上一次就他们不会再来，对不对？ If you pass it once, they'll never come back.
Who's they?
The people who want to test you, your daughter, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your non-boyfriend.
Your monk.
Yes.
No advisor.
Your wife or your girlfriend goes, but dearest, I love you. That's why I nag you. I'm kidding. You get extra helpings.
Yeah, he theorizes a lot. He intellectualizes. Yeah. I don't believe what he just said. I think girlfriends are the most reasonable and the most
demanding.
What was in your lemonade today?
Oh, you're getting in trouble in there.
Damn you do, damn you don't.
That's right.
Yeah, thanks a lot, John. You see, now I realize he just tricked me.
No.
I didn't have to comment. I would have been safe. Any comment I have made would be a failure.
No, damn you for you, damn you don't. Equanimity.
Okay, any questions? Yes? So, if you realize they only come to test you, should you be angry? Anh quý vị thấy không? Khi mà quý vị hiểu rằng là họ tới họ thử thách mình, quý vị cứ nên nổi giận không? 所以你知道，你的女儿是来要考试你应该向她生气吗？不应该的，对不对？应该是做什么？
不要生气，
不要生气，还是要什么？
还是要忍辱。
要知恩
图报，
知恩，但是在向你有好处的，所以应该知恩，不应该生气。你如果知恩的话，才可以不会生气的。你不知恩，就会生气，对不对？
所以做普通人也是很难的。
很难的。
对。
Thành thầy hỏi, thành quý vị, khi mà con gái mình nó tới, nó thử thách mình đó, nó làm vàng eo làm xéo, nó làm đủ cách đủ cái chuyện để mình bực mình điên thất điên bác đạo ở nó. Mình có nên nổi giận là không? Thì có người trả lời là không. Thì nó đúng. Thay vì nổi giận mình không được nổi giận. Muốn không nổi giận phải làm cái gì? Mình phải tri ân. Mình phải nhận ra mình có trí huệ, nó đang thử thách mình, nó đang giúp đỡ mình. Tập cái tinh nhẫn nhục. Mình tri ân như vậy thì sau này mình mới có cơ hội không giận được. Còn quý vị mà không biết tri ân á, quý vị sẽ tiếp tục nổi giận. Thành cái người Hoa mới lập tức nói là té ra làm người nó khó quá ha. So, English translation. So, I explained in Chinese. I said, so the next time that your wife comes along and tests you, should you get upset? And of course, the Chinese person says, no, of course not. I should not get upset. Okay? I should know better when I get upset. I should not get upset at all, she says. I says, in order for you not to get upset, you know what you need to do?
Get a divorce.
Get a divorce.
Cross your legs.
Don't get married.
Cross your legs.
No. You should be grateful. Because you recognize that she's testing you. She can give you a chance to work on your patience. If you know gratitude, then you have the chance not to get upset. That's a step before not getting upset, is to be grateful. She's helping you. She's not hurting you at all. Yes?
But she said, I went to Neiman Marcus and I just had to buy these things. Here's your bill and your credit card for $5,000 on Louis Vuitton purses. Yeah. That's beyond a test.
Yeah. That's why you call your bankruptcy lawyer.
But she loves me, that's why she does it?
That's what she'll tell you, the bankruptcy lawyer. Never mind.
What are you going to tell us?
I'm going to tell you, I agree with you. I get a divorce. Enough is enough. Enough tests. Okay, any other questions? Okay? Instead of getting upset, you should be grateful. Because that person is pointing out your lack of patience.
Even when...
That's why you should be grateful.
Even in that case?
Even though when they hurt you. Because if you really have wisdom, you realize you failed again. There's a price for learning. It's no different when you go to dental school, you have to pay for tuition and fees. Your price of learning about these dharma is that you must fail. That's why you have to be grateful. You get it? No one's going to succeed the first time. You have to fail. That's your price. That's your tuition and fees. People don't talk about failures, but failure is necessary for success. You have to pay the price for success through failures. Okay? Yes?
So in that kind of case, what John said, you should not be angry and be grateful and learn something, but you should still divorce if it's out of marriage or...
Yes, there's a limit. Yes, there's a limit. Thành ra cái việc phải nhớ như vậy này, nhớ này, cái muốn thành công phải trả một cái giá mới thành công được. Cái giá đó thường cái giá thông thường, cái giá của sự thành công là sự thất bại của mình mà không bỏ cuộc. không ai mà có thể thành công mà không thất bại hết đó. Thành cái người mà bị thử thách, cái người mà thấy cái sự thất bại mình phải biết ơn thay vì giận người ta. And therefore, when you see your failure, you should be grateful. You should not be upset. You should not be trying to hide it. Cái người mà thất bại mà hiểu có trí huệ đó, biết ơn mà không cần giấu. 所以有智慧的人，他每次失败了就不会生气，也是不会影响起来。Now John is thinking, no need to cover up. If you're really grateful, you don't cover up.
I'm an ungrateful SOB. I still want to kill that professor.
You see, I'm pushing the limit of your gratitude. You're really grateful, you don't cover up.
But I still want to kill.
And that's a different story. That's a different Hollywood story. Okay? You understand? You really are grateful, you don't cover up. Người mà thiệt sự biết ơn đó, không có che đậy. 那种的人，如果是真实的，是知恩的人，他不会隐藏、浮藏的他的做过。Yes, question. There's no need to cover up. Because it's your success. Look at that. That failure is the seed of your future success. You don't need to cover it up. Only stupid people will look at it as failure. It's people who boast of the failure, okay, truly are not trying to cover up, okay? Those people are the people with wisdom who will succeed down the road. Okay? Cái người mà dám phô bày cái sự sai lầm của mình, dám phô bày cái sự thất bại của mình là cái người sau này sẽ thành công. Mới dám làm như vậy. Cái người mà giấu là cái người sẽ tiếp tục thất bại. Mới giấu. Only the people who dare exhibit the flaws, the failures, and reveal it are the ones who are about to succeed. Okay? Okay, any questions? I have a lot of things to say that's really against the common sense. Like John is sitting there and thinking, it doesn't make sense. Of course it doesn't make sense, because it doesn't make sense from a common truth perspective. It only makes sense from the actual truth perspective. Nothing to hide. That's wisdom. Yes.
I want to make a comment.
So you don't even need to get divorced when you think about that. John says, yeah, superior, but not that superior. Yes.
This just reminds me when I had a lot of problems,
Mm-hmm.
and then if I would share what my problem is with people,
Mm-hmm.
some people would come to me and say, Shana, you shouldn't say it because people will start talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not good for your business.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't understand why would they be bad, because I'm sincerely trying to fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So why would they, if they talk about it, it's their problem, not my problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, share my problem, the process,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that put me in a position where I can be the truth for people that truly care about me, that, you know, that gives me the strength to improve, that gives me the encouragement to improve. If I was scared to share it, you know, I would never meet these people that will give me the strength to improve.
That's right. That's right.
And people are so scared of showing their weaknesses.
Because they're weak. That's why they're scared. Yeah. They need to cover it up. If you're so strong, then you're not afraid to reveal your weaknesses.
So this reminds me the experience for the past 3 years.
Yeah. I wish I could be like that, but easier said than done. Okay, any questions? Okay? You got it? Do Italians get it or not? Okay. All right, so far so good? 460. Next slide. So the Buddha concludes in the section by saying that Bodhisattva should have no dwelling at all. Okay? The Bodhisattva should relinquish all marks. Produce a mind of Nuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Meaning that you should not attach a dwelling in the 6 dust realms. The mind is attached to nothing. Experience is unobstructed, perfect fusion of all things. This is Mahayana process. Okay. Thành ra Phật trong kinh mới nói rằng là Bồ Tát nên từ bỏ tất cả những cái tướng mà sinh cái tâm Anodala tâm, diệu tâm, Bồ đề. Okay. Có nghĩa là không có chấp vào ở trù trong cái lục trần này. Cái tâm mình không chấp trước vào bất cứ cái gì, lúc đó mình sẽ có được cái sự bao dung vô ngại của tất cả mọi vạn vật, với vạn vật. Okay. 他说应该舍一切相生那个成佛的心。这意思就是说你不要有执着在这个六尘的世界。你的心没有什么执着，所以那时候你会有这种的包容的万物，什么都是要可以容纳的。Okay. All right. Any questions? Any dwelling in the mind, okay, is no dwelling. Okay. So what does it mean? Any dwelling in mind is no dwelling, meaning that the mind actually has no dwelling whatsoever, and even though it appears to the others like you dwell, you have some attachments. Okay, it's not the same mind as people understand. Thành ra cái trụ của tâm này là không phải là vô trụ. Cái vô trụ này có nghĩa là không có tâm gì hết để mà trụ. Thành không có gì mà gọi là trụ hết. Okay, this mind it has no dwelling whatsoever. That's why it's no dwelling of the mind. Okay. Okay, meaning that this mind here relies totally on nothing whatsoever. It doesn't rely on you, or rely on anything to validate itself. It needs no validation. Cái tâm này, cái tâm mà không cần cái sự chứng nhận. It needs no validation from anyone, from anything. That's no dwelling. Ví dụ不需要支持这种的心，这种的人不需要什么支持的，因为他不需要你的承认，你的赞叹，也不需要你的诽谤、骂力 ，OK， 什么都需要的 ，OK。Validation. I don't know how to explain that in Chinese. Validation. Không biết dạng cái chữ mà xác nhận, chứng认. Okay. Validation, I think. Okay. Yeah, confirmation. Okay, that's true. It doesn't need anything. It doesn't even need confirmation. It's true. Ngay cái gì chứng nhận là nó đúng, chính xác, nó cũng không cần luôn nữa. Does it make sense? It doesn't need your approval. Okay? Họ không cần cái sự chứng nhận của quý vị, xác nhận quý vị. Doesn't need, especially it does not need recognition that they are correct from confused people like you. That's my famous saying. Cái đó là thầy chuyên môn nói đó. Thầy nói là mấy cái người mà có trí huệ, ta không cần quý vị phải công nhận người ta có trí huệ, có người ta đúng. You understand that? They don't need recognition from you. What's recognition from confused people? It's confused recognition, so it's valueless. It's pointless. Am I insulting enough?
More.
Well, people are still, I'm testing you. It seems no one is getting upset, so I can tell you still are dozing. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Ai thắc mắc gì không? Ok, Dùng Cha Phà Sư, Ngài Vĩnh Gia Đại Sư, Dùng Cha Đại Sư, ta Sua Chân Hảo Ý Zuo Chú Chế, ta Sua Gia Gia Yung Xin Sử, Gia Gia Wu Xin Yung, Wu Xin Gia Gia Yung, Chang Yung Gia Gia Wu. This is beautiful in Chinese. Ngài Vĩnh Gia có cái câu hay lắm. Ngài Đời Đường có một bài cơ để chú giải, đó là vừa hay lúc dùng tâm như thế, vừa hay không có dùng tâm, không có tâm như thế, vừa hay dùng, thường dùng tâm, vừa hay như thế không có. This is a beautiful thing. I'm not sure I understand. Okay, but he's playing words with you so that he says that basically he says that when you produce the mind and illuminate the existence, and yet you have no dwelling. So you produce a mind that dwells nowhere and produce a non-dwelling mind. Okay, it's virtually impossible to translate, give a good translation into English. You have to learn Chinese to appreciate the beauty of this gatha. Cái này phải dùng cái chữ Hoa mới thấy được cái tuyệt, cái ngụ ý tuyệt vời của Ngài Vĩnh Gia. This is coming from a person who's enlightened, and he can explain to us. He explains to us how we should utilize our mind, how our mind should function. Basically says, cái này ngài giảng cách rất tuyệt vời, cách dùng tâm. Nó nói lúc mà muốn dùng tâm đúng, says if you want to skillfully use your mind at that time, okay, when you know you're skillfully using your mind, okay, biết mình đang dùng tâm mà khéo léo, at that time okay, you actually are not using your mind. Thì quý vị biết á, dùng tâm mà đúng á, khéo léo mà đúng á, thì lúc đó quý vị biết là mình đang không dùng tâm tí nào cả. Cái tâm mình không có tâm. Meaning you have no mind. Meaning you're not thinking. Is it clear? Is it clear, all of you folks? The first is that if you want to use your mind properly, then you don't think. 那个叫做你用心加好的时候，那时候你不用心，没有用你的执着心，是这意思。Okay, and then, and how do you not think and yet still function? That's what he says. Because you will ask him. So don't think. So how do I not think and yet I still function in society? Right? That's what he explains next. So Ngài giảng tiếp. Nhưng có người hỏi tiếp là nếu như thầy Ngài dạy cho con là không nên dùng tâm, không nên suy nghĩ. Khi mà dùng tâm thì làm cách nào mà con không suy nghĩ để dùng cho nó đúng? 接下来他说也许有人要问他，法师你教我应该用心才好，我怎么不用心呢？我不用心是应该做什么，用什么？ So they ask, the Chinese are very tough. They ask, so you teach me, master, great master, that I should not be thinking, I should not be using my mind. What should I use then? So he says, you should often you should often have nothing whatsoever. Meaning not think at all. Yes?
You sound like my math professor when we asked him, what's the easiest way to solve a problem? And he said, the easiest way to solve a problem is write the answer. There's no thinking. You do without doing, know without knowing, see without seeing.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yes, he wrote the answer.
Yeah, he's BSing you. He's BSing you. There's no such thing in mathematics. Yes.
That kind of thinking is what we are trying to work towards.
Yes. Basically, it says, if you want, this is a very important part. This is a very, very important message. He's telling us. He says, this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. That's why I left it here. If you want to move towards being able to function without thinking, then every day you should often stop thinking. Isn't that so wise? So practical? That's the only way, I assure you. That's the only way. Cái này nó hay, cái bài thơ này hay hay sợ lắm. Tại vì khi Ngài dạy nó, quý vị muốn dùng cái tâm đúng là không được suy nghĩ, không được dùng cái tâm suy nghĩ quý vị không được dùng nó. Thì có người hỏi ngược ngay lập tức nó nói bẩm đại sư, con suy nghĩ quen sao mà thầy biểu con không suy nghĩ được? Thì Ngài mới nói con không muốn suy nghĩ thì con phải thường mỗi ngày đó, ok? Tập đừng có suy nghĩ, chặn mình lại không cho mình suy nghĩ. Đó là thiền. Đó là thiền mỗi ngày. Là không xếp bằng. That is exactly chant without crossing your legs.听得懂吗？所以他的回答就是他说，你 如果是要知道怎么可以工作，可以存在，可是不用你的分别心，你就需要每天常常努力，不要用你的分别心。
常常不要用。
常常不要用。
意思，第一句的时候要用的时候，
停着。
恰恰用心时候就没有了。那就恰恰无心用了。要用的时候就没有了。
对。
那么无心恰恰用，等到要用的时候呢，就恰恰没有心来用。
对，因为是那时候，如果是你常常不用你的心，那你的真心就现出来，是那个意思。
都是不用，
对，
不用思考。
你不会，如果你停止你的妄想的心，你的分别心，你的真心就现出来。
真心现出来。
因为是迷昧的人，他怕是他不知道怎么办，如果是不用他的虚妄的心、妄想的心，可是他不懂，就是你如果是努力排除你的妄想的心，那你真心就显出来，就你天然自然就用这个真的心，不要害怕，懂吗？ Let me explain this to you, and the Chinese help me clarify for you. You see, I understand all of you have this fear, especially the Vietnamese. They fear that if they don't think, they cannot function. Người Việt Nam, nhất người Việt Nam là người Thoa hỏi thầy mới nêu rõ cho quý vị hiểu là cái người thông thường, thầy chọc là người Việt Nam chứ ai cũng vậy hết đó, là cái người thông thường ai cũng sợ. Câu hỏi thầy ngược lại, nếu thầy bẩm thầy, bạch thầy, con mà không suy nghĩ làm sao mà con sống được? Because this is brought to light by the Chinese, but it's not only a Chinese problem; it's an American problem as well. All you say, Master, you sound right. You sound so fantastic. Sound so great, so profound. But let me ask you a factual thing, a practical thing. I'm used to thinking, and if I don't think, how can I function? How can I live? How can I pay my bills? How can I drive? How can I do my dishes? Right? How can I do my work? How can I work? Right? How do you answer that? How about that? I answer in Chinese already, so the Chinese cannot jump in. How do you answer them? Yes, you are right. The Buddha says you not be using your discriminating mind. You should not think. Use a false mind to function. But I'm used to it every day. If I don't use it, how the heck am I going to survive? So Buddhism is a bunch of baloney. You tell me it's wonderful, and then you tell me something I can't do. The text says, yeah. Now he's awake, yes. What do you think? How do you answer that? You bunch of baloney. You only talk theory. I use my discriminating mind every day because that's how I get paid. Travis going to say, I get paid to discriminate, right? How can you tell me not to use it? You're crazy. Buddhism is too theoretical. It's not practical. Shall we come back next week and talk about this? Time is running out. I have 2 minutes.
A 2-minute warning?
Yeah. By the way, Super Bowl coming, folks. No more questions. No more questions. I'm telling you. No more questions. Don't you dare. How do you answer them?
According to my knowledge, I think according to Buddhism, we can give advice, but we can't do every work, other people's work. We can guide. We can Buddhas teach us how to do this. What is the correct way according to Buddhism, and we can guide, but we can't do it.
So we can't do it ourselves.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I love this answer. He says, I can't do it, but you should try. Lovely answer. That's truthful, right, Shana? I can't do it yet, but you should try.
Other thing is, if I go to do something responsible, how is the responsible? It's my day-to-day work. If I don't forget my day-to-day work, my life is spoiled.
But you see the problem, Bhante, is this lady is going to say, you want me to cook Mexican. So I know I have a recipe here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm at 3 right now, therefore I should go to number 4, according to my recipe. If you tell me, don't even think about it, how am I going to cook Mexican for you today? You understand? Yeah. That's what I know Kama asks us. Okay? And I said, you tell us about not thinking, but how can I not think when I function at work? It's impossible.
No, you do it every day when you go to the supermarket. The cashier doesn't think when they check you out. That's normal.
Yeah, I agree, Tex. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. We have some brilliant contribution here from the front row on the men's side. Yes.
Maybe it's also sort of a matter of faith that you have to have faith that there's this other functioning of your mind that you're not used to precisely because you're relying on this thinking mind, and that if you keep working at it, eventually you can access it.
This guy has too much theory. He says, trust me. Trust me. He said, trust me. And the person, right? He says, trust me, it's going to be okay. Keep driving, don't think. It's going to be okay. Yeah. No hands. Look, Ma, no hands. Trust me. Jeez. I'm worried about this guy now. I'm really worried about these 2 monks in front. One says, I can't do it. The other guy says, trust me.
Too extreme.
Quý vị nghe, quý vị cũng có mặt ở đây, quý vị cũng thấy là cái chuyện cái trình độ nó cực kỳ nguy hiểm. Một ông thầy thì nói là tôi làm không được, nếu đều không sao đâu, tôi làm không được, quý vị cứ làm đi. Quý vị tôi vẫn suy nghĩ, quý vị không nên suy nghĩ. Ok. Còn cái người kia thì nói không sao đâu, cứ tin tôi đi. Hai ông thầy đều điên rồi hết. 你听得懂吗？华侨的人，一个位比丘他说我做不到，可是你应该做。OK。另外一位出家人他说相信我，不要害怕，相信我啊，相信我啊。Yes. I thought I told you no questions.
No questions.
Yes, okay, go ahead, say.
I think it's the problem is that not that we have mind to figure out to function is not the problem. I think the problem is we have too much thinking excessively.
Okay.
No, okay, never mind.
Okay, we way over time. 4 minutes over time already. I'm reminding you, we cannot drag our feet on this matter. Shall we come back next week and finish this, or you want me to give you the answer right now?
Now.
You want to take a week to think about this, or you want to give me the answer? What? I can't hear you.
Now.
Please give you an answer.
Sao?
Thưa thầy nói, thầy bảo là no thinking thì vừa rồi thầy bảo là có một tuần để suy nghĩ.
Travis has a good point. He said, "You just told us not to think, but then immediately you told us to think about it for a week." Okay, touche. Okay, đúng. Okay. Here's the answer.
Thank you.
If you do like Master Yung Cha teaches you, stop thinking as often as you can, and meditate. He didn't say meditate. I add meditation for your sake. Okay, that's very important. You don't meditate, you're not going to get there. Period. That's why this may sound good intellectually, but you need to back it up with a dharma called meditation for this to work. Okay?
Yes. You have to your mind when you're meditating.
Thầy dạy thế này quan trọng. Cái Ngài Vịnh Gia Đại sư dạy rất là hay. Cái câu hỏi này rất là chí lý. Cái khổ là cái câu hỏi, cái câu dạy này nó chưa đầy đủ. Phải làm như vậy như Ngài nói đúng. Mỗi ngày mình không nên suy nghĩ. Nhưng để phải còn thêm một chuyện nữa quý vị phải cần làm nữa là phải thiền. Cái suy nghĩ này là một cái pháp môn thiền. Quý vị đừng hiểu lầm. Trạng nghe rõ không? Còn cái pháp này, cái hình nào này thầy nói mà con nghe con để ý đó. Cái này là cái thiền công, cái công phu thiền. Khi mình chặn lại, mình không suy nghĩ là mình đang thiền. Thầy nhắc lại cái công phu thiền, thầy nhắc quý vị là phải thiền mới hiểu được cái câu này, mới làm xong câu này được. I stress to you that this poem is very is extraordinary. But the thing about often you should not use your mind is a form of meditation. It's meditation right there. That's why I'm stressing again. You must meditate in order for you to get to get there. Okay? Phải cần thiền mới tới đó được. 你听得懂吗？他的教法是很好的，是最好的，很妙的。可是如果他说常用架舞，这个是你是在打坐，你不用心时候就是你在打坐，对不对？所以我要强调，这个是你需要打坐才做得到。你不可以看这个字，就是我懂了，没问题啊，你不会，你做不到的。I'm saying to you again, if you read this poem and you understand what it means, it says, often do not think. And you say, I got it. You cannot accomplish it, you cannot execute this to completion successfully unless you meditate on this. You hear me? Until you accomplish it, you have to keep on meditating on this. It's very important. Thì nhấn mạnh lại quý vị, đừng có nghĩ những người mà ngọt sách như anh Tràng đó, mà cứ đọc sách này cái đọc sách khác, nghe ông thầy này cứ nghe ông thầy khác, ông thầy này hay, ông thầy này dở, ông thầy này giỏi, ông thầy này tuyệt vời. Ok, đó là chưa đủ đâu. Phải con thiền con ơi, con phải trước khi mà con thành tựu được cái pháp này, cái bài thơ này là con phải thiền mỗi ngày cho tới khi mà con thấy được cái sự thành công của cái này. Phải cần thiền mới tới đó được, chứ đừng nói chuyện chơi. Tại vì cái thường dùng cha vụ vô này là nó là một công phu thiền. Người không luyện thiền không hiểu được cái chuyện đó, thành người ta chỉ nói là hay quá thôi. Tao hiểu là phải thiền. Okay? You have to meditate. So what happens? If you meditate on this, then you stop your thinking mind. Thiền tức là quý vị ngừng trệ lại cái tốc suy nghĩ của quý vị. 你打坐的时候，你会停止你的分别的心，对不对？Okay? Okay? Lúc mà quý vị ngừng cái tâm nó lại rồi, then you discover that your true mind then functions. Thì lúc đó quý vị sẽ khám phá rằng cái chân tâm quý vị nó đang hoạt động. 那时候你停止你的分别的心以后，你会发现是你的真心还是存在。Then you realize that your true mind has always been functioning behind the false mind. Thì lúc đó thì mới khám phá rằng cái chân tâm của chúng ta đó trước giờ nó cũng bao giờ đang hoạt động sau lưng của cái giả tâm chúng ta. That's why Xian Jie is right. He says, trust me. Nên lúc đó ông thầy Hiền Giới nói đúng, tin tôi đi. Don't be afraid to stop your thinking mind. When your thinking mind stops, you know exactly what to do without thinking. Isn't it beautiful? You don't think anymore, and yet you know exactly what to do.
So how's my professor?
No questions. Yes.
So how's my professor wrong? He said, easiest way to solve a problem is write the answer. Your true mind knows to write the answer.
Yeah, that's I don't buy that. Yes?
When your true mind give you answers, so you know what to do.
You know exactly what to do.
That's not thinking, right?
It's not thinking.
Thinking we are referring to is for thinking, right?
Yeah, it's your discriminating mind. The mind you're using right now, that's a false mind. When you stop that, the true mind then takes over.
Which is wisdom.
That's wisdom.
So when the wisdom give you answer, it's not thinking.
It's not thinking.
It's just
No thinking necessary. That's why Xian Jie is right. He says, trust me. But you look at him, you say, no. No.
Cái đó là linh tính à?
Linh tinh hả con? Dễ sợ không? Linh tinh mình nó biết. She says, Vietnamese, is that my instinct? I said, yes. It's a male instinct, not female. Now the women are going, I said male instinct.
We have that too. No.
Instinct takes over.
your guts.
OK， 那时候你的灵性，这个就是你的智慧，真正的智慧，就显出来。OK? Any questions? See, this is a beautiful poem, really, folks. This is the best. He can explain it in 20 Chinese characters how to do it. So beautiful, a enlightened person can explain things. And you know, when you read this, I assure you, until I explain this to you, you can read this for another 100,000 times, you still don't get it. Cái người mà giác ngộ ta giảng hay như vậy, ta dùng có 20 chữ tàu thôi đó, mà ta giảng một cái cách để mình giải thoát được. Quý vị mà người mà không hiểu được á, người mà không có trí huệ đọc cái này bao nhiêu lần cũng chừng đó thôi, không hiểu được cái dụng ý của cái người này. Ok? 觉悟的已经觉悟的人，他的解法是很妙的。你看，20字就很清楚的，告诉我们怎么办。20字就够了。Only 20 Chinese characters. He tells us exactly what to do. Not a book, not a Chan handbook, not a Chan handbook number 2. Okay? 20 characters. That's how beautiful it is. You understand it? This is why, when you confuse, you write one book. When you enlighten, you write only 20 characters. 所以你的迷昧的时候，你应该写一本書，你覺悟的以後就24字就夠了。Nên Thầy mới nói, cái người mà chưa giác ngộ đó, biên cuốn sách về thiền cũng giảng chưa xong. Còn người giác ngộ rồi dùng 20 chữ Tàu thôi là giảng xong hết tất cả. Okay? Are we happy? So let me recapitulate. You have a nice Mexican lunch today. And we have a nice 2 hours of leisurely lecture on Vajra Sutra where everyone is sleeping.
And you're over your 2 minutes.
15 minutes overtime. And now we stop it for sure and go do what we must do.
Watch the Super Bowl?
No,
John. Okay. Thanks for coming. I see you next. If you have time again, come next New Year's Eve and enjoy the food. Okay. So you can do actually New Year's Eve and then come to the other temple on Sunday morning. So you have.
Double whammy. When does New Year's Eve start?
10.
A.M. or P.M.?
10 p.m.
Sweets.
Oh yeah.
How are you gonna eat? You want to eat during lunch, not night.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Yeah. That's okay. We have exceptions.
Wow. That's another lie.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's transfer the merit and virtue for the rebirth. Okay, space 38, please. Trang 38. Turn on the lights so that everyone can see.